Yo, another quick car thoughts video. I was sort of thinking about this during class actually, so this was more like, oh, I have a thought, I'll make a video of it while I drive. The thought today I had, it's sort of a thought I've been having for a while. It's just like an overarching observation of the way people like treat other people. It sort of bothers me. It's not that big of a deal, but I do think that we should probably think a little differently on this. I feel like people don't give great enough weight to people's, especially probably celebrities, like current actions, and definitely hold things or past actions over them, right? Like, or they're too judgmental about changes that they make to themselves, right? I don't know how, if I like that. I really feel like we should have a greater sense of like, we should probably be generally more accepting of people changing themselves, like quite a bit. It does bother me when I feel like people are a little bit too not accepting of like personas changing. I don't really. These are just examples. I wish these weren't the like best examples of this that I had, but I do because I don't want people to feel like this is necessarily like I'm targeting like them specifically. I'm not targeting anyone in specific. I thought about this in class because people voiced things in class that made me think about this. So in class we were discussing like Joji, and people were like in class saying, yeah, I liked his old stuff more. Like, yeah, I'm sure everyone liked Filthy Frank like 10 years ago, right? But is it that interesting now? Like, do you like Joji now? I get not liking his music maybe, but I feel like people don't like Joji because he's not Filthy Frank anymore. Not because he's like they dislike his music on print. Like, I feel like they would have disliked his music on principle, right? Distancing himself from that persona, they didn't like on principle. The same could be said about like iDubbbz. Like, sure, I can see why you'd be like sad that the old iDubbbz doesn't exist, but I like both these like creators more now, not because I necessarily care what they're creating as much as I did their old content, but because I feel like they've made like a positive change in their life. I like that they did that, and I like what they're trying to do now, you know? I think it's cool. I'll try and like it. I think Joji makes good music. I think iDubbbz makes interesting new content that feels more genuine to himself. And the same could be true with Joji as well, right? Like, he's making content more true to himself. I appreciate that. I think that's the basis. That is the central point of making art and of making content, of making new things, that you're true to yourself. That's a key tenet to making really good stuff that people will like. If you're making things to deride, or you're making things ironically, I think that there is space for that, but you sort of risk like losing yourself within that. Like, you lose the essence of your being to try and like, as we say, keep the bit going. I don't want to celebrate that all the time. I think it's fun to have. I think bits are fun. I think that they're cool and they're funny. But I also feel like there's oftentimes like people take their shtick a little too far. They sort of lose themselves trying to like encapsulate something that they aren't. And I'd rather celebrate like when people try and be more true to themselves, when people are trying to do new things and are trying to like become different people. Celebrating more of the now than the past, I think is really cool. Try and be more open to people changing. Be more open to people doing what they're doing now, instead of lamenting the fact that they aren't doing what they used to do. I think people should generally do that more. I think that's more what I'm getting at here. Not necessarily like I'm really mad that people aren't like liking the new thing that this guy's doing. It's more like it's just kind of sad that we were never open to it to begin with. But that's my thought today. Thanks. I'll be making more later. Take care.